Be sure to like and share this video so you can put the word out. Because now that we have so many people that are caught up in anime, like y'all are caught up in One Piece, y'all finished Bleach in the manga, y'all finished Naruto, that means that you got all the information that you need to finally start watching Gintama, because this is my favorite series. More than My Hero, more than One Piece, Gintama is the series that I enjoyed the most. Now, if you've been around the grapevine, you probably know what it's about, loosely, very comedic based. But let me paraphrase and give you a little quick excerpt on what Gintama is about. So the story takes place in feudal Japan, where aliens came to take over Earth. Now, to fight against these aliens, we had samurai in feudal Japan to, be our troops against the alien forces. Gintoki was not only one of them samurai, but he was also known as one of the 4 heavenly kings. Not because he's actual royalty or anything, it's just he was that nice with the blade that him and 3 other people were just known as the best of the best. But ultimately, they end up losing the war, and everybody but these 4 kings ended up dying. And of course, the first thing the aliens did was outlaw being a samurai because, let me make sure my op can't come back, right? And because samurais are outlawed, that means that you cannot walk around with the actual samurai sword, which is the reason why Gintoki walks around with a wooden sword. Now, of course, Gintama is full of a whole bunch of gags and whatnot, but the main premise of the story is that Gintoki is trying to live a normal life, only now he is out of a job, he has no profession, he ain't got no money, and he's kind of a jaded, older individual. This is not a series with a teenager main character. Gintoki's in his late 20s. And so he just kind of goes around and he does what he wants, and sometimes he's a dick about it. But at the same time, he does still have that same heart of gold of helping other people out where they really need that help. So he ends up getting people that want to follow him anyway. And of the people that are following him, you got Shinpachi, who is this 16-year-old dude that has been working in a dojo, and he sees Gintoki and he wants to learn from, one of these legendary samurai. And then you have Kagura, a 14-year-old who was basically sent here to Earth because she wanted to just, live a different life, and Gintoki is essentially her, adoptive father. And together, these 3 just do odd jobs all around Japan just so that they can make money so that they can pay rent. Very simple premise, except there's one thing. Sometimes his past catches up with him, and now he has to deal with those issues in modern times. And sometimes these things extend to even hurt the people that he's caring for. But more often than not, with all the friends that he made along the way, Gintoki ends up making it out of each of these situations relatively okay. If I had to peg him for a main character, I would say that he is kind of an overpowered main character within the realm of the story. He's such a legendary samurai that he literally goes around with a wooden sword, and he still beats 80 to 90% of the cast that ends up coming through this show. And the people that do end up beating him usually only beat him because his wooden sword breaks. But when he comes back with the round 2 with the sword that's real, even though he's still injured from the first fight, usually with that real sword, he can make light work of whoever it is he's dealing with. Some light spoilers, but one of these people will be a swordsman that went by the name of Nizo. Now, Nizo is a savage. He's a blind swordsman, and he is a master of his craft. But compared to Gintoki, he's kind of nothing. That doesn't mean that he's weak. That just shows how great Gintoki is. But for round 2, Nizo comes back with a sword that has a supercomputer embedded into it so that it will now learn and adapt to the fight at the rate of a supercomputer. Then that sword merges with his body, so now he has the reaction speeds and everything of a supercomputer. Yet despite that, while wounded with a real sword, Gintoki makes light work of this dude. Because when it comes to Gintoki, he can process information in combat way faster than that of a supercomputer. Which is why I'll take it to my grave that when it comes to anime, Gintoki is the best swordsman out of them all, no question. And if you are doubting the words coming out my mouth, go give it a watch. For the most part, it's an absolutely hilarious series, but when it gets to its serious dramatic moments, those moments, I ain't gonna lie, they got me shedding some tears sometimes. And the beauty I feel of Gintama is, even though the episodes are kind of episodic, everything does matter. All the side characters that are being introduced mean something in the future. And when you get to the major arcs in the story, these major arcs are usually only between 4 and 8 episodes. But in those 4 to 8 episodes, Sorachi Hideaki can make some of the best storylines that you have ever seen. And some can start from a comedic place and end on a very serious note, like when it comes to this dude, Gintoki. Now, this dude became the main character of the series Gintama, and he turned it into Kentama because Gintoki, took time off to go drink. But the show couldn't run without a main character, so Gintoki came in and took over the show. He was in the openings and everything. The attention to detail when it comes to Gintama's comedy gags, it's elite. There's a reason why people call this dude or compare him to Deadpool so often. And not only does the comedy hit when it happens and the drama makes you tear up when it happens, but these action scenes are on point as well. Now, I do want to preface this by saying Gintama is, an older anime. Even though I do think some of the fights are still really good and they hold up very well, compared to what you're seeing nowadays from JJK, Egghead, and One Piece, it won't live up to that. So I'm gonna temper your expectations, but I will say this. Like I said earlier, when it came to the main arcs being between 4 and 8 episodes long, as the story has gone on, they remastered those serious arcs and they turned them into movies with modern animation, and they're beautiful. So if you want like a watch list guide so that after you watch it, you get to a certain episode and I'll just say, hey, stop right there, go watch this movie, then you can come back and start on this episode and you keep going until you get to the next movie. And if you want to watch the episodes instead, you still can. I still think they're amazing. It's just if you want to see more modern animation too, you got that as well. All in all, when it comes to Gintama, this is a show that I feel like majority people would love if you just knew more of the references, which was kind of the hard thing to sell people on when it first came out. But now, 2024, a lot of y'all caught up on Naruto. A lot of y'all caught up on One Piece. A lot of y'all are familiar with Bleach now, Thousand Year Blood War, obviously Dragon Ball Z, and so many other things that you're going to get most of these jokes now, so you can be, laughing along with everybody else. And if y'all go and watch it and you like it, I would not mind making more Gintama videos. If you want me to make a watch list guide video, I can do that too. But at the end of the day, all I want you to do is go and give Gintama a try if you are caught up on a lot of other of the mainstream anime, because I guarantee that you will at least have the time of your life.